Think you guys already know before we get to the prediction today which way I'm going. If you listen to this podcast at all in the past, it's not a secret prior to the prediction which way I'm going, but we do have to break it down. We do have to dive in and say this is how the matchup looks. This is the height. This is the reach. This is the style. This is how many takedowns. That all that stuff we got to get into.
Broadcasting live from an undisclosed location. This is the TCMMA Podcast with your host, Chris Cross.
Whoa!
Dana White privilege.
Let's go, baby! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go, baby!
Dana White privilege. Privilege.
Welcome to the TCMMA Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Cross, and by now, you know it's official, right? Khamzat Chimaev versus Dricus Du Plessis for the middleweight title. This happened a few days ago. We were working on the podcast for Topuria versus Oliveira. We finally get all that done. And then I see the news of Khamzat versus Du Plessis, and I'm like, okay, so we just wasted an hour plus doing the podcast on Topuria versus Oliveira because that is now somewhat irrelevant, right? I mean, it's just somewhat irrelevant because now you got two of the best fighters in the world, I'd argue, right? You got two of the best fighters in the world getting ready to throw down middleweight division, and all the years we've been complaining, right, as Khamzat fans, all the years we've been complaining, we can no longer complain. The date is set. It's going to happen August 16th. It's official. We no longer have to say, why is Dana White holding this up or who is holding this up? Why isn't this happening? We all believe Khamzat is the best. Why isn't he getting a title fight? He's got to go from welterweight. Can't make weight anymore because he's been on hold for so long. Now he's got to go to middleweight, and then he's got to work his way through that division. He's had setback after setback, but that's all done now. And he's 31 years old. He's in his prime, and the time is now for Khamzat. And of course, you're going to have Dricus Du Plessis fans. You're going to have fans on both sides. And that's why this thing is going to be highly entertaining because we're going to find out if what we've been telling you for the past several years holds up. Because it's held up so far. But now you're getting into the title fight against one of the best in the world, Dricus Du Plessis, right? That's the bottom line. So here you look at the do list, and it's real simple. We don't need to go past the top 10 today because number 1, Khamzat Chimaev. Number 5, Dricus Du Plessis. And this is going to have big implications on the future of the do list, which is just nothing more than our favorite fighters, guys we would stack up against anybody. Not really a pound for pound list because I believe Khamzat will beat John Jones right now. I believe he would beat Islam if Islam came up. I believe he would beat Shavkat. I believe he beats Dricus Du Plessis, right? I think he beats anyone on this list below him if he has the time to fully prepare for that weight class. That's just how I feel. That's what the do list is all about. Can't say that for every situation, but in this situation, Khamzat's 1. Obviously, Dricus Du Plessis is in the top 5. That's not easy to do on our list. So we respect the heck out of him. We're not saying today that Dricus Du Plessis can't win. We're not saying that he doesn't have a chance. I think you guys already know before we get to the prediction today which way I'm going. If you listen to this podcast at all in the past, it's not a secret prior to the prediction which way I'm going. But we do have to break it down. We do have to dive in and say this is how the matchup looks. This is the height. This is the reach. This is the style. This is how many takedowns. That all that stuff we got to get into. It's very important. But there's no secret which way I'm going, right? I mean, there's no secret. So rather than wait, let's dive into it right now. In the middleweight division for the middleweight division title at UFC 319, finally, Dricus Du Plessis takes on Khamzat Chimaev. And ladies and gentlemen, this might be one of the biggest fights since I've been watching the UFC and one of the biggest fights in a long time. So pay attention to this prediction. Du Plessis, 23-2. Champion, South Africa. Khamzat Chimaev, 14-0. United Arab Emirates, 14-0. He's 1 inch taller at 6'2". He's 31, so is Dricus Du Plessis. I mean, this is what you want. Two of the best in their prime. Du Plessis, 1 inch reach advantage, no big deal. Du Plessis, switch stance fighter, always an advantage. Khamzat fights right-handed. These guys are big-time strikers. Du Plessis, 6.1 significant strikes per minute to 5.4 for Khamzat. Okay. Du Plessis can land takedowns, nearly 1 takedown per round. Khamzat, like a takedown and a half, with a high submission average. Du Plessis, 50% takedown defense. That's going to be a problem. Khamzat, 100%. So if Du Plessis takes him down in this fight, it's going to be completely surprising and very interesting. Du Plessis coming off the win against Sean Strickland by decision. 147-128 significant strikes, beat Adesanya, 4 takedowns to none, submitted him in the 4th round. Khamzat, after some tough fights with guys like Kamaru Usman and Gilbert Burns, both going to a decision, very close, kind of could have went either way. Okay. Also beat Kevin Holland by submission, beat Robert Whittaker, this is the big one, by submission via rear. Okay. So after people saw that, now you're like, okay, right? He's fighting a middleweight. He looks good. He's with new people, trainers, etc. So he looks like a different fighter. Really looked good against Robert Whittaker, but this is Dricus Du Plessis. He can't go in thinking it's just going to be easy. It might be, but he's got to go in laser focused, and I think that's what he's going to do. Listen, if you watch the channel, you know Khamzat is #1 on the do list, so you know I'm not going against him, right? That's a foregone conclusion. If you don't pay attention to the channel and you're just watching this for the first time, #1 on the do list, that means he's my favorite. I put him against anybody in the world almost in any weight class right now. So there's no way in my mind that Khamzat is losing, and I'm going to stick with that. But Dricus Du Plessis is a formidable opponent. Make no mistake about it. But Khamzat will still finish him sometime in the 1st or 2nd round to finally get the belt at 15-0 and 31 years old. That's my opinion. Main event, middleweight division, UFC 319. So it's real simple. We got Khamzat Chimaev winning the fight. I mean, there's no question. We haven't been on the mic for the last 5 years telling you this to get to the championship, to get to the title fight, and then change our tune. I mean, it's just not going to happen. Hopefully Khamzat goes in there and dominates. I know what a lot of people are going to say. If it gets outside the 1st, 2nd round, Khamzat's in trouble. I'm not so sure. Because you're looking at DDP and all his other fights. You're not looking at DDP against Khamzat Chimaev. By the time you get to the 3rd round, if it goes that far, both guys are going to be exhausted. Because Khamzat is going to pressure from the opening bell. He's not looking at this thing like 5 rounds. He could get stuck going there. And yes, I mean, obviously there's a possibility that he gasses out. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think if Khamzat gasses out, so does DDP. And then we're going to get 2 guys worn the heck out going into the championship rounds. If it goes that far, if. But the pressure of Khamzat is going to be something that obviously no fighter that he's beat has been able to prepare for ahead of time. It's just different, especially as of the last couple fights. I mean, it's just different. Now, a lot of people weighing in on this prediction for sure. So we got to dive into that right now. Steve Piper says DDP is beating Khamzat, right? And he gets 9 likes there. So there's a lot of people that are for DDP. You're going to see that today. Nick says Dricus will surprise everyone again. He will KO Khamzat. Don't see it happening, but hey, stranger things have happened. There's Boars, though. We have waited so long for this. Let's go. Khamzat TKO. I like it. A little rhyme, too. I like it. And again, you're going to see people all over on both sides of the fence. Omar says Khamzat all day. Khamzat fights hard normally. Imagine this is a chance he's been waiting for years. He's going to be a machine, believe me. Yeah, and you think about that. All these other fights he's got to do to get to this point, and now he's finally there, and you're telling me he's going to lose? I mean, we'll see. Rick says DDP by TKO. EP says, let's go, man. Let's go. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. Matthew says, if Khamzat cannot finish DDP in the first round, and here we go. DDP will pick Khamzat apart from round 2 and retire him like most who have faced DDP. But see, that was my point, is you're looking at it as other fighters DDP has faced. You're not looking at it as Khamzat Chimaev. It's not other fighters. This is not Adesanya. This is not Strickland. This is not other guys that are going to wear down, that are going to try to cruise to the 5th round. Khamzat is going to pressure you from the beginning to the end. That's the problem. That's the problem. And it's not like DDP is just going to be fresh. Jerry Casey, heavy man wins. Fight night. Bonnie, Khamzat, bet your house. Yeah, I know it. He's going to be the favorite. Wes says DDP by TKO round 2. 11 likes, 6 replies. People jumping on both sides there in the replies. Eric says, finally, so excited for this. Let's go. And isn't that the thing, though? Forget who's going to win the fight. Isn't everyone just excited to see what's going to happen? All the talking done. Everyone's just excited to see what is actually going to transpire. Rudy says, want to bet? Say 100. I don't need to bet. I don't bet. And if I do, I put like $2 on every fight. So I'm going to make $5 or $10 or lose 5 or 10. I just do that for fun so I can go there and see my record for the night. Right? Sometimes you win, it's on a favorite. You really don't win anything. There's no need for me to bet. We do this times 500 every year. Make picks. But it's just simply an opinion. Cobra says, dude, not again. DDP beat your boy Adesanya, and now you're back in the wrong horse again. Okay, so obviously you don't watch the show. I mean, maybe you got one thing here. But I've been talking about Khamzat for years. If you are that slow, put a ton on Khamzat so you can learn. And we don't have to put anything on Khamzat. To me, it's already a foregone conclusion. Javier says Khamzat is going to steamroll him. Steve Way's back. Dang right he is. Wes jumps in, saying KC isn't a tough fighter. I'm just saying he doesn't stand a chance against DDP. So again, these are the types of things that people are saying, right? Both sides of the fence. The farther Khamzat goes, the more people are jumping against him. It's a lot like McGregor, minus the craziness that McGregor brings in terms of promotion. Don't get me wrong, Khamzat's going to talk some trash. And he's going to back it up, a lot like McGregor did early on in his career. But as you do that, and especially as he missed weight in the Nate Diaz fight, had to pull out of 2 or 3 other fights, people are against him. And that line only gets bigger. The amount of people only gets bigger. But the bottom line is Khamzat's going to go in there and take down DDP in hopefully quick fashion. And, you know, I don't need to see a 5-round fight. I'm completely excited and happy about getting a first-round finish in like a minute. It's not going to be that simple. But will I be nervous if this thing goes out of the first round? You darn right I will. But I still have faith that Khamzat gets the win. I mean, I still have faith he's going to get the win. Make no mistake about it. But listen, we'll leave it right there. Not much needs to be said. We've said it for years. We have said it for years. We have not changed our tune. And we're not going to change our tune now. Khamzat wins by first round finish, or Khamzat just wins. Either way, it makes no difference to me. For now, this is your boy Chris Cross. Hope you have a great day, and God bless. Until next time, peace.